Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
Your Rangers have plenty of work to do down the stretch, and in the midst of this run against West Division teams, they run into a very hot Angels club. While the Halos have not had a great year, things are clicking for them now, particularly with their superstars Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. Yu Darvish starts tonight as your Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels begin a weekend series next.
Welcome to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. A beautiful, warm, breezy, sunny evening here in Southern California. Tonight, your Rangers moving down the coast hope they have their fortunes changed around by the great weather as they take on the Los Angeles Angels. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Graves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us on this Friday night of Ranger baseball. Rangers trying to forget the last 4 days in Seattle and look for a fresh start against these Angels. One guy, though, who's not going to change anything is Carlos Beltran, who is hot.
He's hot, Buzz, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, maybe a couple of weeks, where he suffered through the longest hitless spell of his career. He went 0 for 32. And I can remember we said with a guy like Carlos Beltran, all that means is he's about ready to get hot. And he did. He's 20 for his last 45. That's a .444 average, killing the ball with men in scoring position, on base half the time, and that followed the 0 for 32. So he did get hot, and the Rangers are enjoying that right now.
And the Rangers are going to need Carlos Beltran and the rest of the offense against a very hot Angels team. Angels swinging the bats well, and that man, Yu Darvish, is on the hill tonight. He will be in charge of tamping down the Angels' hopes.
your Texas Ford dealer. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. By Budweiser, not backing down since 1876. This Bud's for you. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. There's a beautiful shot of the beach here in Southern California, and we are inland about 15 miles or so. Yu Darvish getting set to take the hill tonight. Rangers looking to get back on the winning side of things. Before we get underway, let's head down and check in with John Radigan.
Yeah, Buzz, thanks very much. At 277, the Rangers have the highest batting average against left-handed pitchers of any team except Boston in all of the big leagues. Boston's at 282. Lately, that's because the Delino DeShields has been leading the way. He's the guy who starts off and leads off against lefties, and he's proud of what this team has done against southpaws.
A lot of lefty pitchers that we have to face from this point up until the end of the year. So, my job as a leadoff guy is to, like you said, be the spark plug and get things going, get on base, score runs, produce in any way I can, just to help the team win. So,
Thanks, guys. Let's get it back up to you.
All right, John, thanks very much. Well, the Angels have taken the field, and Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup.
Well, you already know who the leadoff hitter is. That's the left fielder, Delino DeShields. Ian Desmond is batting second. Carlos Beltran, with an 11-game hitting streak, is in the third spot. Adrian Beltre is the cleanup hitter. Rougned Odor has knocked in 17 runs in his last 9 games. He'll bat fifth. Jonathan Lucroy is the catcher. Mitch Moreland will bat seventh at first. Carlos Gomez back in the lineup in right field. And batting ninth, the shortstop hitting .295, Elvis Andrus.
And that lineup for the Texas Rangers put together by Jeff Bannister, facing the 25-year-old left-hander from Santa Monica, California, Tyler Skaggs. Skaggs just coming back from Tommy John surgery. His first start was back on July 26th. This is his 9th appearance of the year. 3-3, a 4.71 ERA. And I think as Yu Darvish would tell Tyler Skaggs, it's a little bit up and down coming back the first few months from Tommy John. The rehab is great. You feel good, and just trying to get back into the routine of starting every fifth day. There's what Skaggs features, about 60% fastballs and just a little bit below the major league average, which is about 93.1. Curveball and a changeup for the left-hander. So Skaggs out there tonight. He's coming off a couple of wins in his last 2 starts. And the defense behind him this evening, Marte is in left, Trout in center, and Calhoun in right, with Crone at first, Pennington and Simmons up the middle. Escobar is at third, and Jed Bandy is catching this evening. Well, the Rangers come in at 83-58. They have that 8.5 game lead over the second place Houston Astros starting play tonight. Angels, meanwhile, are in fourth place. They are at 62-77, but they have, as we've been saying, been pretty hot of late. They have won 7 of their last 10, and they are swinging the bats well here at home. Here's Delino DeShields to start things off. We are underway, and the first pitch from Skaggs is a good fastball for strike one. Delino a .226 average overall, but he has been a pretty good hitter of late in that leadoff spot against left-handed pitching. 1 ball and 1 strike. Delino, 4 home runs, a dozen RBI. There's that average in his last 14 ball games. Delino hitting at .318 and 9 runs scored, which it really is paramount for that leadoff man. 1-2. Now Skaggs will throw a fastball that runs away from right-handers. He'll also throw a little cut fastball that has a tendency to either be straight or run in a bit on right-handers. So he can be tough, moving the ball from side to side. That changeup is a weapon for him when he has good command of it. 2-2 now.
When you look at his pitches, Buzz, and the tall, lanky stature that he has, kind of an over-the-top delivery, has a little bit of the Cole Hamels look to him. Throws, similar velocity. We'll see how his curveball and changeup compare as the game goes on. But for a young pitcher, got that look to him.
See the numbers in the wins. He has been very, very good, and he gets the light on his shields, swinging at strike 3. So Skaggs punches out the first Ranger that he faces. 1 gone for Ian Desmond. Skaggs, interesting, he was selected by the Angels back in 2009 draft. Almost immediately traded over to the Diamondbacks. Had a big trade between the Angels and the Diamondbacks. And then a couple of years later, traded back from Arizona to the Angels. Angels kind of saying, yeah, we like him. No, you can have him. No, we want him back. Ball 1 to Desmond. Ian at 291, another multi-hit game for him yesterday. 22 home runs, 82 RBI. 2-0. Desmond among the league leaders. Tied for 3rd with 51 multi-hit games. Scored his 100th run of the season yesterday. He's the first since Ian Kinsler and Josh Hamilton to surpass that century mark in runs scored. Last time it happened back in 2012, Kinsler scored 105 and Hamilton 103. And Desmond, no doubt, will fly by them. 3 balls and a strike. No, Desmond trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the Ranger first inning. Carlos Beltran, the Ranger DH, is next. Skaggs back to the plate. A little tapper foul, and that will fill the count now. 3-2 to Desmond. Ian also among league leaders in hits. He's 8th with 162. Three-two pitch coming to him. Ball 4. He'll take the walk. Nice at bat for Ian Desmond against Tyler Skaggs. Now he'll make the left-hander work from the stretch.
Now he got Delino to swing at a similar pitch with 2 strikes. That time Ian was able to lay off it. Like maybe a cutter, a little bit less than his fastball as far as miles per hour go.
Carlos Beltran, a 291 average with the Rangers. 300 is the average overall. That includes his time with the Yankees. Carlos, that 11-game hitting streak coming into play here tonight. He has gone 20 for 45, as Tom told you. That's a 444 average. One of the top in the American League batting against left-handed pitching. Strike 1. Beltran against left-handers this year, getting to a 347 clip. And that number telling you that he's got some pretty good pop. 419 career home runs. That's 4th most by a switch hitter in Major League history. Only Mickey Mantle, Murray ahead of him, along with Chipper Jones. That's ripped to left field. Coming on, Marte to make the catch. Well, Marte was playing deep. He was back almost to the warning track. He came in on that sharp line drive. Out number 2.
Carlos, we mentioned in the pregame show, 20 for his last 45. How hot he's been. And a lot of the outs he's made over those 45 at-bats have been just like that.
Yeah.
Line drives. Kind of balls where he hits hard and ends up about halfway to first base when the outfielder catches him. Yeah, it's funny how different teams align in different ways. I don't think we've ever seen the left fielder for Houston playing there, even in a late inning situation, to where he's trying to guard against a double.
Right.
I can't remember a left fielder playing that deep.
No, I can't either. Beltre fouls back that first pitch. Most of the time, you look out there for Houston, and the outfielders are shaking hands with the infielders. They're that close to him.
Especially in the opposite outfield spot. But that's about where you you would say, boy, he's sure playing deep. Must be a situation where they don't want a ball hit over their head. Should be a lot of balls, hopefully for the Rangers, falling in front of him where he's at way back there.
0-1 to Beltre. Adrian at 293. That's a base hit through the hole. Well, Beltre continues to swing the bat well. Desmond to second. First and second for Rougned Odor with 2 outs here in the first.
Second baseman, number 12, Rougned Odor.
If you count that hit in the last 9 games, Adrian is close to a 400 hitter.
He doesn't miss many of those.
No, you can show where his hits were as far as the grid goes, and probably not many of them are right down the middle. Most of them are all over the place.
Yeah. Well, 2 on for the Rangers. Rougned Odor, a 282 hitter. Team leader with 30 home runs, 82 RBI. Odor has not been fazed by left-handed pitching this year. He has done a very good job battling southpaws. Ball 1. Odor this year has 7 of his 30 home runs against left-handed pitchers. Rougned with 29 home runs as a second baseman this year. That's the 3rd most in club history. Alfonso Soriano had 35. Ian Kinsler had 31. A little bit low, 2 balls, no strikes. Skaggs being forced to work a little bit extra here in the first inning. That's one thing the Ranger offense did a pretty good job of in Seattle. Even though they didn't come out on top, losing 3 out of 4 games, they still battled. Every starter out there forced him to throw a lot of pitches early in the ballgame.
Felix had a 49 pitch inning.
Yeah. Now the 2-0. Yeah, Odor. Franchise record for second baseman set by Ian Kinsler in 2011. 32 of them. And Odor 30 already, along with 86 RBI for Kinsler and Odor at 82. Slugging percentage, Odor just a tick ahead of Kinsler's pace.
Ian did those in 3 separate years. Rudy's got a chance to top all 3 of those in the same season.
Check swing on the breaking ball. Good job by Odor. It's now 3-1. Skaggs falling behind the left-handed hitting Odor. If Rougned is able to keep this inning alive, Jonathan Lucroy, the Ranger catcher, is next. Jeff Bannister's club losing 3 out of 4 in Seattle. They lost the last 2 and really kind of spun their wheels late in ball games, which is something that we haven't seen this offense do very much. Skaggs to the plate. Full count. So now with 2 outs, Ian Desmond and Adrian Beltre will get a running start. Desmond out there at second, trailed by Beltre. Adrian's kind of shaking out the legs, make sure they're ready to go. Lowest walk percentage this year, Odor. The lowest percentage of anybody in baseball, just 2.7%. Major League average, a little bit over 8%. Skaggs ready. Desmond and Beltre ready to wind it up, and now time call momentarily. Jeff Bandy hashing the signs out. Now Skaggs ready. Runners on the move. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Calhoun, easy play. And that'll do it. Rangers get a hit and a walk, but Strand 2. After a half inning, Rangers nothing. Angels coming up. The first time, I'm going to tell you now about the Angels lineup that Yu Darvish will face.
Yunel Escobar is the third baseman. He's also fifth in the league with a .320 average. He's the leadoff hitter. Cole Calhoun is in right field. Mike Trout, third in the league with a .323 average, is third. Albert Pujols having an excellent season, 29 home runs, 110 RBIs. He's the cleanup hitter. C.J. Cron seems to hit very well against the Rangers, and he's been pretty hot for quite a while as at first base. Jeffrey Marte, haven't seen much of Jeffrey Marte. He's batting sixth. Andrelton Simmons, a .283 hitter now. Jet Bandy is the catcher, batting eighth. Batting ninth is the second baseman, Cliff Pennington.
And that lineup will face the 30-year-old right-hander Yu Darvish. Darvish making his 14th start of the year. It'll be his 10th since coming off the disabled list right after the All-Star break. 5-4 his record, a .345 ERA. The opposing hitters batting at just .229 against Darvish. Here is Escobar, and the first pitch is ball one. Yu Darvish just under 60% fastballs, and his fastball range from 91 to 98, and anywhere in between. Cutter, split finger pitch, slider, curveball, changeup. A lot of that is, according to the eye of the beholder, what it looks like to you. Tom told you Escobar, fifth highest average in the American League at .320. 3 home runs, 34 driven in, a .371 on base percentage. And Darvish is wide with ball three.
Well, Escobar seems to have been very consistent this year. It seems like every time we played him, every time you check, he's somewhere between .310 and .320. Doesn't seem like he's had any terrible slumps in getting his hits all season long.
And Darvish gets the strike. It's 3-1. Darvish since the All-Star break, 3-4 with a .305 ERA, and just now starting to round into form, according to you anyway, about having the stuff, knowing what to do with it, getting back into the competitive mode. And that is ball four. Missed low. Leadoff walk puts Escobar aboard.
That's kind of a recurring theme for Yu Darvish. Leadoff hitters getting on base. The leadoff hitter in a game against him is 7 for 12, and now with 2 walks.
Well, we'll take a look at the Ranger defense delivered to you tonight by DeMontron RV. DeShields, Desmond, and Gomez, left, center, and right. Moreland and Odor on the right side of the diamond. Andrews and Beltre on the left, with Jonathan Lucroy catching for Yu Darvish. Rangers come into play tonight, 11th in the American League in fielding percentage, .984 percentage with 85 errors. Here is Cole Calhoun, and he pesters the Rangers every time that they face him. Takes inside for ball one. Calhoun, this year against the Rangers, 12 ball games, he has hit .409. 3 for 8 with 2 home runs against Darvish. One of the guys you might take those season numbers and toss them right out the window. Moreland can't get there. Odor, a little flip to Darvish covering. They get Calhoun. That is out number one. Well, Mitch committed himself and had the ball out of his reach, but a good job by Darvish to get over there to cover.
And if Mitch could have caught that ball, they wouldn't have gotten a double play probably, but they would have been able to get the lead runner. As it turns out, Ruge has plenty of time to get over there on the high hop. And then on a 2-0 count, they get Cole Calhoun.
So 4-1 on the putout. One gone, and here comes Mike Trout. Trout steps in hitting at .323. Leads the major leagues with that .442 on base percentage. He leads the American League in walks. 27 home runs, 88 RBI. And a breaking ball drops in from Darvish. Darvish has kept Trout in check as far as the average goes, under 300, and that's keeping him in check. But he has done some damage with the long ball. Trout can do that to folks. He is second on the team with those 27 home runs. Only Albert Pujols with 29 has more. Trout 10 out of 34, a 294 average facing Darvish. 4 home runs and 6 RBI. Got Escobar out there in scoring position, right there at the bottom of your screen as he takes his lead. 1-2. Now Mike Trout having another whale of a year. 3rd in average, and he's talked about. He's first, tied for first in runs scored, 109. There's that on-base percentage. And slugging percentage, he's 3rd. I'm not sure there's anything on a baseball diamond this man can't do.
No, there's not.
Call strike 3. Darvish came back in with a fastball at 96, and Trout got hooked.
That's a tough pitch to hit right there. Even if you're looking at the scoreboard, you see every fastball is around 91 miles an hour. You've seen a breaking ball, and then all of a sudden, here it comes at 96. Even Mike Trout wasn't ready to pull the trigger on that pitch.
Yeah, he was looking for the local and got the express.
I'm waiting for Darvish to throw that pitch on the first pitch of the game, just one time.
96?
96. You know, and it seems like the first pitch of the game, every start is 91 miles an hour and out of the strike zone. I want to just see him rear back and air it out. 96 for strike 1.
Well, you'd open some eyes, I know that.
Yeah, I think he enjoys saving it for spots like that, though. It's a lot more fun that way. He knows he can get ahead with the movement on his pitch. Velocity doesn't matter. And every now and then he cuts one loose like that. That's the result he's looking for.
Albert Pujols takes that slow breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Numbers on Pujols as good as his numbers have been in the last 6 years. He has 2 career home runs against Darvish, 29 home runs, 110 RBI with a 271 average. Ninth all time with 589 career home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Darvish back-to-back hooks. Infield swung well around to the left with Rougned Odor playing on the shortstop side of second. A little bit low. 2-1. Good look at the Rangers' defensive line. Outfield pretty much straight away and relatively deep, as you would expect. See what Lucroy and Darvish come up with there on 2-1. They've been pitching backwards to the big hitters in the middle of the order. See if that's true here. Nope, came back with a fastball. So they're crossing some things up, crossing some people up. You saw the result with Mike Trout. I think Trout got into a situation where he was looking breaking ball and he was paralyzed by the fastball. And Pujols, in a fastball count, wasn't real sure that was going to come. 12-game hitting streak for Albert. 6 home runs and 14 RBI in those 12 games. Darvish set for the 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Good slider. And Darvish strikes out Trout and Pujols with Escobar at second. Nothing going for the Angels after 1. No score. is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by the all-new 3-row Mazda CX-9, meticulously crafted for driving because driving matters. Now look at the rock garden out there in deepest left center field here at Angel Stadium. Jonathan Lucroy leading off for the Rangers here in the second inning. Lucroy, Moreland, and Gomez to face Tyler Skaggs. 0-1. Lucroy, a .295 average with the Rangers. Overall hitting .298. Career high 22 home runs, 72 RBI is 10 shy of his all-time best. And he would figure to shoot right on by that this year. Pop foul back into the seats.
Got some Ranger fans here, Buzz. The Garretts from Heath, Texas are here. Along with Ken and Jen Benson. They're the ones that sent up those delicious chocolate chip cookies. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, those didn't last very long.
They're visiting their daughter and son-in-law, Navy doctor, serving at Camp Pendleton. So thank you very much. They also say the Dirkses are here in spirit. So I would guess the Dirkses are watching from back home. Thank you all Ranger fans. Also some season ticket customers are here. Jordan and Amy Minyard and their granddaughter Kinley are here. And I want to send a special shout out to my little friend Sam Danzy, who's watching this game at home with his mom, getting to stay up late tonight.
That's Friday night, isn't it?
Yep, Sammy's a big Ranger fan. Hope he's enjoying the game as well.
A ball and 2 strikes to Lucroy. Jonathan with 9 of his 22 home runs in a Ranger uniform and 22 is 72 RBI. He has been with the ball club now just over a month. Chopping that pitch foul. We'll keep it at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tyler Skaggs, 2 strike counts in his last 6 starts. Opponents have a pretty healthy .385 on base percentage. That's something that I think would bother him just a bit.
I think so. A lot of that probably happened in the 4 starts before his last 2 starts. He was 0-3 with a 9+ ERA in those 4 starts. Last 2 starts have been pretty good.
Another 1-2. Got him swinging. That fastball and a little extra giddy up on it. Gets his second strikeout.
First baseman.
1 gone. Mitch Moreland will be next. You know, talking about that rather high on base percentage after 2 strikes. We've had the opportunity to watch Yu Darvish coming back from the Tommy John surgery, and he went through some streaks, especially before the shoulder started barking at him a little bit, where he had a hard time putting away people. And if Darvish has a hard time putting people away, you know that has to be a result of the rehab process.
Yeah.
And I think Skaggs is probably running through that too. Skaggs got about a 2.5 month later start than Darvish did this year. 2 months coming back. So I would imagine he's going through some of the same kinds of things.
Probably is.
1 ball and no strikes to Mitch.
In those 4 starts, prior to his last 2 starts, he only pitched 17 2/3 innings. Gave up 29 hits and 19 runs in those 4 starts. And in his last couple of starts, he went at Detroit, at Seattle, 6 innings in both starts, only gave up a total of 3 runs. He looks a little bit more like that today than he did in those bad starts he was at. He's doing pretty good.
No, he's falling behind Mitch Moreland, 3 balls and no strikes. Mitch trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the second. Carlos Gomez waits. Actively waiting. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. Mitch will take the walk. Well, the same thing happened in the first inning. Skaggs struck out Delano DeShields to open, then walked Desmond. Yeah, he struck out Lucroy to start the second and walked Moreland. Now, Carlos Gomez will come to the plate, hitting at .213 overall. As a Ranger, Gomez has hit .233 He had 2 of his 7 home runs in a Ranger uniform. One a 3-run home run in his first Ranger at bat, and the other a grand slam against Seattle at home. Ball 1, a little bit high. Gomez a modest 2-game hitting streak. On 2 for 5. Hit safely in 7 of his last 8 ball games. Checked his swing there. And the appeal down to first. No swing. That appeal handled by Mike Winters, the crew chief down there.
Good job of holding up on that one. He was ready to let it fly, and he was able to stop his swing. He was ready on the last one. He's really ready on this 2-0 pitch.
See Carlos, 391 average in his last 8 ball games. Skaggs ready. Back to the plate. The left-hander comes. 2-1. Now Jerry Meals calling the balls and strikes tonight. Mentioned Mike Winters down at first. Ron Culpa at second. And Chris Conroy down the line at third. Carlos Gomez waiting. Mitch Moreland at first. A very short lead over there. Fouled straight back. Carlos a pretty good hack at that offering. Rangers purchased Carlos Gomez's contract back on the 25th of August. Signed with the Rangers, signed a minor league contract with the Rangers the day that he was released by the Astros. That was on the 20th. And he will tell whoever is in the vicinity of how grateful he is to have an opportunity in this situation with the Rangers.
Seems like every day someone's playing a quote, writing a quote, where he says exactly that. That's a big-time curveball right there. Again, a lot like the curveball that Cole Hamels throws. Big, sharp-breaking curveball.
Skaggs with his 3rd strikeout, 2nd in this inning. Now he'll face the number 9 man, Elvis Andrus.
Coming into the game, Skaggs had struck out a batter per inning. 42 innings, 42 strikeouts. Got a few of them so far in this game.
Elvis at 295 with 5 home runs, 60 RBI. He is just 7 RBI short of his all-time best. Ball 1. Elvis at 295. He's had a 352 on base percentage and a 416 slugging percentage. And all those would be career best for him if they stand up. Against lefties, 2nd highest average in the American League at 351. That ball's ripped but pulled foul.
Well, Elvis has enjoyed hitting against left-handed pitching. He's hit over 350 against lefties. Had a pretty good series in Seattle. Hit one of the longest home runs he's ever hit into the top deck in left field. Ripped a couple of other balls pretty well in that series too.
Yeah.
338 hitter in his last 19 games.
A ball and a strike the count as Skaggs gets set. Rangers with 1 hit and a couple of walks early in this ball game. Skaggs approaching that 40 pitch mark. Working here in the 2nd inning. And he misses high, 2-1. Well, Elvis has more hits against these Angels than any other club. 166 career hits against the Angels. 310 average lifetime is the second highest. And if you know Elvis, you know that his average against Cleveland is the highest in his career, 366 against the Indians. 310, a very, very good career mark. Popped him up. Pennington, the second baseman, secures it. That'll do it. No runs, a walk, and 1 man left after 1.5. Rangers nothing, Angels nothing. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Clayton Kershaw back on the active list, worked 3 innings in his first start back from the disabled list. 5 hits, 2 earned runs through 66 pitches in those 3 innings of work. Rick Porcello of the Red Sox, the first in baseball to 20 wins this year. The odds-on favorite for the Cy Young Award in the American League is now 20-3 as the Red Sox blasted the Blue Jays and now lead by 2 full games in the American League East.
It was about a week or 10 days ago. It looked like Toronto was about ready to take a lead and expand it a little bit. Now it's the Red Sox turn.
The bottom of the second, and Yu Darvish dealing to C.J. Cron, and had Cron out in front of that breaking ball.
That's a couple of great sliders. The one that struck out Pujols and that one to C.J. Cron. You can forget it if you're a right-hand hitter and you see that pitch. The only chance you've got is to take it and hope it's called a ball.
Cron, another one of the Angels that has been a thorn in the side of Ranger pitching, especially Yu Darvish. Cron 2 out of 6 with a home run. 37 games overall against the Rangers. Cron has hit .324 with 29 RBI. Darvish with a 1-2 pitch. Cron almost walked into that one.
I would too after the 2 pitches that preceded it.
Darvish against the Angels, 7-2 lifetime. This is 13th career start against the Halos. Well, a good fastball inside, and Cron did well just to foul that back. Now, Yu Darvish will talk about the big right-hander, our Kubota power stats. Saying that after Darvish gets 2 strikes on a hitter, opponents reach base only 17% of the time. That's the second lowest percentage in all of baseball. Talk about not having a prayer. Got him swinging. A backup slider. And Crone is the third strikeout victim for Darvish.
I'm sure Crone saw the spin on that pitch and anticipated it was going to break out over the plate. And it didn't. It just stayed inside and kind of tied him up. That's a bad feeling when you've seen a slider break sharply down and away, and then one break right on the inside corner. I don't think a right-hand hitter alive can handle those two pitches if he swings at them.
C.J. Crone would agree with you.
Yeah, he's one of them that can't.
Jeffrey Marte fouls that first pitch off. That got a pretty good piece of Jonathan Lucroy. Marte playing well for the Angels. 12 home runs, 37 RBI, and a 261 average. Ouch. Yeah, there are shin guards there, but right on the kneecap. That's one that makes your leg go numb, doesn't it? No balls and a strike. Darvish gets the sign. Elvis triggers the throw. Right on the money. 2 gone. No, only the second time the ball's been put in play against Darvish tonight. Both ground balls, and with 2 down, Andrelton Simmons will come to the plate. Simmons having a very good offensive year for the Angels. 283 with a home run and 33 driven in. As a member of the Atlanta Braves, Simmons noted for his defense, not nearly as much for his offense. Had the one good year offensively. Last 16 ball games, though, Simmons a 362 average.
You know, Simmons has had a longer stretch, almost exactly like Elvis. 240 at bats, hitting over 320. He's been hitting well for quite a while now. Earlier in the year, he was way down there. He went from 204 to 283.
Yeah. You know, Darvish has pumped in a couple on him. 0-2. With 2 strikes, Simmons the 13th highest average in the major leagues. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again tonight, Lucroy and Darvish teaming up to not set a pattern. You could say before that Darvish got into patterns and pitches he'd like to throw in certain counts, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. You don't see that kind of a pattern being set by these two. Got him swinging. The pattern of strikeouts, that's 4th tonight for Darvish. 3 up, 3 down. We have played 2 in Anaheim. Rangers nothing, Angels nothing. Texas for a 3-game weekend series next weekend. That's September 16th through the 18th. Come on out and support your Rangers on Friday, September 16th. And you can enjoy a post-game fireworks show at the same time. Use the coupon code FIREWORKS to get upper-level tickets for $14 at texasrangers.com/specials. Again, a lot of Ranger fans in attendance here tonight. Good weekend out here in Anaheim. Scoreless ball game. Delino to Shields leading off the 3rd inning. Running up as if to bunt. He had everybody on the Angel infield moving around toward home plate. Crone and Escobar, the first baseman and third baseman, charging down the line. Both the shortstop and second baseman, Simmons and Pennington, charging in toward the plate. 1-0 pitch. Butted right through that one. 1-1. Now Delino, you saw him do this 4 or 5 games ago, trying to bunt the ball to the first baseman, make the first baseman field it. And Delino feels if he can do that, make the first baseman come in and handle it, that he probably is going to beat the second baseman to the bag at first. Towering pop foul. Escobar and Simmons over there, they run out of room. 1-2.
Well, through 2 innings, this is a pretty good pitcher's duel. Yu Darvish has his top-of-the-line stuff so far. Looks like Tyler Skaggs does as well. Nice fastball. In addition to being 92, 93, it looks like it's a little sneaky. The Rangers really aren't getting out in front of that fastball. It's got a nice curveball to go along with it. Out.
Chop to third, and Escobar throws out Delino to Shields. 1 gone. Yeah, before Ian Desmond comes up here with 1 out in the 3rd, we're going to send it back to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. Well, Ian Desmond up there with the bases empty, 1 away. Drew a walk his first time up. First ball swinging. It's a long way, but foul down the right side. 0-1. Now the East Division standings after the Boston win over Toronto. 2-game lead. Baltimore 3 games back of the Red Sox now. And the Yankees 4.5 back. Another foul off to the right. 0-2. Our TXU Energy power player to watch. Man, right there on your screen, Ian Desmond. Gets the Angels this year in 13 games. Desmond has hit .382, 2 home runs, 6 RBI, and .987 on base plus slugging. And he's had multi-hit games in 7 of the 9 matchups. Tall left-hander Tyler Skaggs back to it. Got him swinging. Pretty good breaking ball. The out recorded at first. And it's strikeout number 4 for Skaggs.
Yeah, he's got it going right now. Fastball's belt high and higher, and a good curveball down below the knees.
Drop that right on the home plate. Now Carlos Beltran, now a hard liner to left field, back in the 1st inning. A strike to the inner part of the plate. Mentioned Beltran swinging the bat well against the Angels this year again. Chops that one foul. 0-2 now very quickly. Carlos 7 out of 15 against the Angels this year. 3 home runs and 10 runs driven in 4 games. And the switch hitter batting very well right-handed. And he's caught looking at a called third strike. Skaggs with 2 strikeouts. Rangers gone in order after 2.5. No score in Anaheim. Four tickets, 4 jumbo hot dogs, 4 Coke soft drinks, 2 Kids Zones wristbands, and 1 souvenir program. Family Pack's an ideal way to come on out and support your Rangers at the ballpark when they play the Oakland A's on Sunday, September 18th. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to get your Coca-Cola Family Pack today. Now, Yu Darvish back to the hill here in the 3rd inning. Darvish will face Jet Bandy, Cliff Pennington, and Junel Escobar. Scoreless game. Angels have had 1 base runner. That was Escobar's walk in the 1st. Bandy takes ball 1. Jet Bandy, a .256 average, 8 home runs, 24 driven in. Rookie catcher for the Angels. 2-0. Darvish 30 pitches through the first 2 innings, plus a couple to Bandy. Last 9 ball games been a little bit rough on Jet Bandy, just a 138. Elvis, ball comes up to a nice height. 1 gone. Next will be Cliff Pennington. Yu Darvish now has retired 7 straight. Pennington, the switch-hitting infielder for the Angels, batting at .206 with 3 home runs and 9 driven in. Angels this year kind of had a black hole at second base. They've had several different players occupy that position. Pennington, the latest to play over there. Veteran middle infielder. Oh, 0-1. Pennington had a base hit 4 games ago that snapped an 0-for-15 skid that he was in. Sure-handed middle infielder, though. He's faced Darvish before, 1-for-6 career-wise. Last 11 games, Pennington an .080. 10 strikeouts. A ball and a strike. Now 2-1. Rangers against Pennington hitting from the left side. They have the overshift on. And I guess it kind of surprises me a little bit that Pennington doesn't impress me as a guy that always pulls the ball batting left-handed, but that's the way the Rangers are playing it.
Stats must show it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that either. Thank you.
2-2. Pennington thinking he's a low ball hitter, but that was a little too low.
Yep.
Now Darvish agrees with Lucroy. Tried the back door, and he had the lock put on it. Full count, Pennington, the number 9 hitter, trying to get aboard to turn the order over. Escobar will be the next hitter. Darvish a little fidgety out there right about now. Now he's ready. 3-2 pitch. Call, strike 3.
Yeah, go figure that. If Cliff Pennington could look for a curveball on a 3-2 pitch, he's got a crystal ball.
Yep.
And it's not like he's hitting 350 or anything. It's almost like Darvish said, that's the one I can throw for a strike the best.
Yeah.
I'll toss this one up there.
Pennington's got to be walking back to the dugout shaking his head.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Got me mixed up with Mike Trout.
I'm batting ninth. You throw me a 3-2 hook. Well, 2 outs. That is the 5th strikeout in the first 9 hitters for Darvish. Here's Escobar, who drew a walk leading the ball game off. 0-1. I'm going to take you back to that last pitch to Cliff Pennington. Oh, doggone it.
He was. I would say he was. If it could be more than 100%, it would have been looking fastball in that count.
Now back by Escobar. Now it's 0-2. Now strikeouts per 9 innings all time. Now this is for starters going back to the beginning of Major League Baseball. Yu Darvish 11.22 per 9 innings. Randy Johnson second, about 0.6 of a strikeout behind Darvish. Strasburg and Mark Pryor.
And what a shame Mark Pryor got hurt.
Yeah.
He could have been a 200-game winner, 20-game winner, all-star. Very talented. Career cut short by arm injuries.
What do you have, one healthy year?
I
with,
can't even
with the
remember.
Cubs? I think it was one healthy year. Or maybe part of one healthy year. A ball and 2 strikes to Escobar. Now 2-2. Very comfortable evening out here in Anaheim. Great night to pitch. Light breeze. Temperature in the mid-70s, dropping down to the low 70s as we head on through the night. Darvish back to the plate. Got him swinging. Yu Darvish with a couple of strikeouts in the inning. He has 6 this evening. We have gone through 3. Angels nothing, Rangers nothing. Now let's go to Rick Renner in our Rooms to Go lounge. chance to take advantage of the $10 Tuesdays. You get tickets, parking, and a meal deal for just $10 each. Come support your Texas Rangers, and they take on these Los Angeles Angels. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to secure your $10 Tuesday tickets for September the 20th. Adrian Beltre starting things off for the Rangers here in the 4th inning. Beltre, Odor, and Lucroy. And Adrian saw a pitch up about eye high that he loved and fouled it straight back. Beltre singled to left in the 1st inning. That has been the only hit of the ball game. Skaggs missing with the breaking ball to even the count. Adrian with that single now up to 294 as he continues to push toward the 300 plateau. Another pitch up that Beltre fouls back. And Beltre, a marvel. Last 30 games, how about hitting 366 in the month? 10 home runs, 27 driven in, a .450 on-base percentage with 13 multi-hit games.
Yeah, that's somewhere around 130, 140 at-bats, too. That's not 15 at-bats and what he's done the last few days. That's a long time, 30 games.
It's 112 at-bats coming into play tonight.
Wow.
Yeah. Your math's pretty good about that. That's quick. It was quick.
I thought it'd be more than that. I'm figuring 4 or 5 at-bats a game.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Hard hit. Escobar flags it down. Throw gets his counterpart. Nice play by Escobar.
Well, Adrian's got the only hit in the game. He almost had the only 2 hits of the game. He got breaking ball right down the line. And nice play by Escobar. He's having a nice season for the Angels.
Almost. Escobar pretty handy down that to the backhand.
That was not a simple hop.
No, 1 out. Here is Odor. Rugdad skied out to right field to end the Ranger first tonight. Thought about bunting. Did he go? No, he did not.
Not a bad idea with a second baseman back there and a left-handed pitcher. The only guy that's going to make a play, and he probably could make it, is Simmons coming across the diamond. No way Pennington's going to get it, but Simmons has been recognized as one of the best defensive players at any position in all of baseball.
Yep. 2 balls, no strikes. Good. Rugdad, he started thinking lately about all the home runs. Well, this year about all the home runs. For a while there, he was leading the American League in bunt singles. He's kind of gone away from that lately, but now that is certainly a part of his arsenal. Check swing. 3 balls, no strikes. So Odor trying to get aboard with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Jonathan Lucroy, the Ranger catcher, is next. Scoreless ball game. Rangers batting in the top of the 4th inning. Skaggs to the wind. And misses high and tight. Odor draws the 1 out walk. Not the easiest guy to walk, but Skaggs missing pretty badly on the 3-1 pitch. Well, Odor aboard. Now Lucroy will come up.
I saw the note where there's only been 1 other player, Andres Galarraga, in the history of baseball, who has ended a season with 30 or more home runs and less than 20 walks. He had 19 walks. He's threatening to do that. That's his 16th walk. And of course, he has 30 home runs.
So he's at 16 now. He's a shoe-in for that. I can't imagine him being patient enough the last 21 games for the Rangers to draw 4 more.
Unless they just really pitch around him and
Yeah.
throw some bad pitches.
Skaggs drove Odor back with that little toss. Ooh. Lucroy had a pitch to work with up and out away from him and fouled it straight back. Lucroy got the day off yesterday. Final game of that Seattle series. Brings a modest 3-game hitting streak into play here tonight. Still among Major League catchers, he is leading or tied for the lead in virtually every major offensive category. Slugging, on base plus slugging, average, on base percentage. He's second in home runs and RBI. And hitting the ball all over the ballpark. Over 40% going the other way, and the Angels shading him toward right center field. Mentioned Lucroy, already a career high in home runs. 82 RBI are his career high. That was back in 2013. He's at 72 right now. Now Skaggs ready. The 0-1 pitch. Pop foul. That will reach the seats.
The Rangers just having a hard time catching up with Skaggs' fastball. Whether it's the velocity, having a hard time picking it up because of his delivery, or the fact that he's also had a nice curveball to complement it.
Yeah.
They just have not had a lot of great swings at him so far. Beltran hit a ball hard to left field that was caught. Beltran has a ground ball single, but he's also had 5 strikeouts.
Ahead of the count, no balls, 2 strikes to Lucroy. Got him swinging. Here's that good sharp breaking ball. Strikeout number 6 for Skaggs, 2 away from Mitch Moreland.
First baseman, number 18, Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, again, his stature, his delivery, and his selection of pitches hasn't thrown a lot of changeups tonight. Just has the look of a Cole Hamels type pitcher. Rangers had a #1 draft choice this year. What was his name? Cole Reagans?
Yes.
Who made no bones about it. He has emulated
Right.
Cole Hamels, and his delivery looks a lot like his as well.
Well, 2 outs. Moreland drew a walk, his first time to the plate. Odor at first, the overshift in effect with Mitch up there. 3 infielders to the right side, only Junel Escobar, the third baseman, on the left side of the diamond. He's about 40 feet off the third base line. Skaggs getting ready for his 65th pitch of the night. And we told you what Tyler Skaggs likes to throw before the ball game. Tonight, 54% fastballs and just about equal between curveball and changeup, about 20 to 25%. The 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. And Jet Bandy going to go out and have a little talk with Tyler Skaggs. Well, they let the one left-handed hitter, Rougned Odor, get away with a walk in this inning, and I think that Jet Bandy's saying, "Wait a minute, let's not be losing these left-handers. Let's make them swing the bats."
And he walked Mitch last inning.
Yep. Well, Mitch hitting in a pretty good spot here, 2-0. Ripped to right field.
That is going to be one hop off the wall. Calhoun gets to it quickly. Odor's going to have to stop at third. Moreland into second with a ringing double.
Well, that's one of those balls you just wish he got that up in the air to see how far that would go. Hope Rugi's okay over at third.
Yeah.
Pulled up a little gingerly.
Doing a little stretching over there, trying to, whatever it is.
See if we see anything as he's motoring around the bases.
Yeah, a little grimace. Don't know what that, didn't look like anything major, but that's Rugnet. Carlos Gomez chops that first pitch foul. It's 0-1. So the Rangers, first real scoring opportunity tonight for them. With 2 outs, they have runners at second and third. Gomez, a strikeout, his first time up. Skaggs continuing to work from a stretch. And 0-2 now. Infield shading Carlos Gomez around to the left 3 or 4 steps. Outfield in a similar fashion. Skaggs trying to work around a walk and a double here in the 4th inning. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Mike Winters making the call down there at first. 1-2. That's a pretty good check swing. And that pitch.
Oh, that was close.
So Carlos back in. Odor is at third. Moreland is at second. Gomez trying to break this scoreless deadlock. Got him swinging. Fastball up. 7 strikeouts for Tyler Skaggs. Rangers leave 2 on a walk and a double. After 3.5, we are still scoreless.
Going here, it's 0-0, Angels and Rangers. And what a lunch we were able to consume today, too, here in Southern California. After a late night arrival, we went to a place called Slater's 50/50. You see, it's burgers by design. Now, 50/50 means 50% ground beef in the patty and 50% bacon. Look at that. That's Jeff, our photographer's burger. That's just a beautiful burger, isn't it? A great platter with the fries and the burger. But we got in so late last night. We made it about 3:37, I think, when we actually pulled in. So mine, I went with the egg on top. You see, so that way I had breakfast and lunch today at one time. You know, kind of multitasking since I slept through breakfast. I had breakfast and lunch. This is how you know how bad this place is. You see, that's the ketchup. Those are chunks of bacon in the ketchup, guys. So if my arteries explode down here tonight, you'll know why. It was all bacon all the time, plus an egg on top. I don't think it was healthy, but boy, was it good.
Bacon and eggs.
Looks
that
good.
does look
Yeah.
good.
Tell you what, John Radigan can find some places to eat. Now.
Man.
He does not steer folks wrong.
Well, only one time,
Well,
unless you like tongue.
yeah, if you like beef tongue, he didn't. But since you and I are not particularly going that way.
I would definitely have tried that burger he had today, though. That looked good.
Cole Calhoun over the top of that breaking ball. Calhoun grounded out to first, or actually grounded out to Odor, with Darvish covering first. That was back in the first. One of 4 right fielders with 15 home runs and 80 runs scored. You got Mookie Betts and Mark Trumbo and George Springer. 1-2 as Darvish comes back to the plate. 2-2.
I'd say that's going for the strikeout right there.
Yeah.
Trying to get him to swing at that back foot slider. He thought about it, but he stopped in time.
Now Darvish has retired 9 straight since the leadoff walk to Escobar in the first. You'll have to wade through the heart of this Angels order here in the 4th inning. Pitch number 47 of the night for Yu Darvish coming. Base hit to center field. Calhoun with the first hit of the night against Darvish. He is aboard with nobody out.
That's the one he checked his swing on. And then he gets a fastball out over the plate. Grounded it up the middle.
No, 1 on, no out. Mike Trout called out on strikes in the first inning. And a little work on Calhoun first. Since August 19th, Trout a .429 hitter. That's good for 3rd in baseball, behind Pedroia and Jose Peraza. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1. In case you were thinking about Calhoun at first, doesn't run very much. He's only had 2 stolen bases in 5 attempts. Other than Trout, Angels just don't run. Trout has 24 stolen bases. The Angels as a team have a total of 52. Right off the end of the bat, Odor, a flip back to Elvis for the force. Calhoun removed, Trout safely aboard at first. He's there with 1 away for Albert Pujols. That may be as weak a contact as you're going to see Mike Trout make.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. Slider down and away. And Trout's running pretty well this year. 24 out of 29 in stolen bases. Angels have only stolen 52 bases. He's had 24 of them. Only one. Well, no one's even close to him. Andrelton Simmons has 6. That's the 2nd highest stolen base total.
Well, here's Pujols, who, like Trout, struck out the first time that he faced Darvish tonight. Slider for strike 1. Yu Darvish induced 3 ground ball double plays this season, and that's For the Rangers, not a very high total at all, 65 opportunities. That in contrast to Martin Perez, who every time he turns around induces a double play grounder.
Yeah, one of the problems you has in that regard is he strikes a lot of those hitters out.
Yeah. And like the contact that Mike Trout had, a lot of times balls not hit sharply enough to turn to.
Yeah, he got a ground ball, but with Trout running, it certainly wasn't going to be a double play.
Howard, now if Pujols hit that same ball, you might have an opportunity.
Yeah. Let's find out.
Yeah, we'll go back to the first inning. Mike Trout up there, and he got frozen by a fastball. That's frozen Trout. And then the slider got Pujols. You're not going to see many better sliders than that.
Oh, that was something. Those were two great pitches.
There goes Trout. The pitch is fouled away. Thank you very much, Albert. Trout had that all but wrapped up as he had a good jump. But he'll make his way back to first with an 0-2 count. Line for Darvish, 6 punch outs, 1 walk, 1 hit through 3 1/3. He's got a battle on his hands here, however. Trout at first, and Pujols at the plate.
And Pujols has only struck out 66 times this year. Shows you the kind of contact he makes. Been up 521 times. There's very few guys hitting in the middle of the lineup with that many at bats that haven't struck out 100 times, and some of them a lot more than 100 times.
Nice job by Lucroy to get out there and smother that pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, talked about him a bit in the pregame. Albert Pujols, what a year he's having. 29 home runs. 15th year, 25 plus home runs. 13th season of 100 RBI or more. He's at 110. And the 15th year of 140 plus hits. The 1-2 from Darvish. That gets by Lucroy. Down to second. Goes Trout on the wild pitch.
He just tried to put a little bit extra on that one. Didn't quite command it the way he wanted to. That was going to be a 96-mile-an-hour fastball headed for the outside corner, but didn't get it high enough.
No, now Lucroy and Darvish talking things over. They do have first base open. So it might be an opportunity to be a little more careful, or at least have a different pitch sequence to Albert Pujols from a 2-2 count. Runners in scoring position. Darvish gets even tougher. Almost 68% of the time he is going to throw a strike, but the quality of strikes that Darvish is able to summon forth, what really is critical. This year, opponents with runners in scoring position hitting 186 against Darvish. Got him swinging.
Wow. Tried that must have been a two-seam fastball that just really nosedived in on Albert's fists. He struck out Pujols on 2 great pitches, a slider away, and now a two-seam fastball that just eats him up. What a pitch.
Yeah, the slider going exactly the opposite way of that pitch.
That looked like a left-handed slider.
It did. No, out number 2 with Trout still at second. That brings up C.J. Cron.
He can do with a baseball, boy.
Yeah. I'm not sure I've seen anybody that can manipulate a baseball the way he does around the strike zone.
I agree.
And it's not like, I'm going to throw a 2-seamer, so it's 5 miles an hour slower. That was 94. Got him on the fist. Beltre gobbles that up. On to Moreland, and a nice job for Yu Darvish working around a leadoff single. 1 left. We're going to the 5th in Anaheim. Scoreless ball game. West is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Now the Rock Garden out in left center field here at Angel Stadium. Beautifully redone a decade or so ago, and quite a venue for Major League Baseball here in Southern California. Quite a baseball game going on here tonight. Scoreless game as we head to the fifth. Both starting pitchers, Tyler Skaggs and Yu Darvish, have been outstanding tonight. Just 3 total base hits, 2 for the Rangers and 1 for the Angels. Elvis Andrus 0 for 1, a pop out to second as he finished off the second inning tonight. Strike 1. Elvis a .295 average on the road this year, the 5th highest average in the American League at .309. Elvis now 3 out of 7 against Tyler Skaggs. Been a while since the Rangers have seen Tyler Skaggs. And the way he's throwing, it's probably just as well.
Yeah, he's throwing really good tonight. You mentioned his last 2 starts have been pretty good too.
Yep.
Both of them 6-inning starts, only gave up 3 runs in one and no runs in another.
That's a little bit outside. 3 balls and a strike. So Elvis bidding to get aboard to start off this 5th inning. Top of the order, Delino to Shields will follow. (3-1) pitch. Ball 4. Elvis draws the walk. The Rangers have speed at first and at the plate with the Shields coming up.
Yeah, Buzz, earlier I was talking about the similarities, if there were any, in the delivery of Tyler Skaggs and Cole Hamels. So put them together. That looks pretty similar. That looks pretty similar. As far as the delivery goes, I'd say Tyler Skaggs a little more over the top. Cole Hamels a little more from 3/4. But stature-wise, they look a lot alike. They're both tall, lanky. Both throw about 92, 93 miles an hour.
Yep.
We'll cue up a curveball, too. And even though the deliveries are a little different, it breaks in a similar way.
A push bunt. Going to second with a throw, and they get the sliding Andrus for the out.
Well, that's the difficulty in bunting hard with the first baseman holding on the runner. You know, you've got the first baseman even with the bag. Obviously, he's holding on the runner, and when you push the bunt that hard, trying for a base hit, you're just kind of playing into the hands of the first baseman. It's one thing if the first baseman is back, but when he's holding the runner,
right,
it's a pretty easy play for him.
Yeah, it becomes a very easy play when you bunt it that hard. If there's nobody on and you're going to make him feel the ball, then you've got a chance to outrun the second baseman.
Right, exactly.
To first. But with the force at second set up, that's kind of defeating the purpose of the hard bunt down there.
Yeah, and that didn't look like a sacrifice bunt. That looked like a push bunt for a base hit. You know, if you're sacrifice bunting, you're not going to bunt it that hard. You're going to bunt it softer and make him charge the ball. All right, let's take a look at the curveball from each one of them. Same thing with the delivery. Skaggs is a little more straight over the top. Cole more 3/4. But then when you watch the ball break down and the angle it comes down, kind of similar.
The one thing you would probably see if you were a hitter is that Skaggs a little more upright in his delivery, working downhill to you, where Cole gets down a little bit and goes out toward home plate.
Right, right.
But they are very similar. Similar arm angle and similar, as you saw, a similar break on the curveball.
Yeah.
Which is determined by your arm angle. A 1 ball and no strikes to Ian Desmond.
You hear all the time about certain pitchers, Buzz, that have a certain way of throwing the ball, and a pitching coach gets them to whatever, lower their arm angle, raise their arm angle. Did you ever experiment with yours when you were throwing? Try to drop down or change it at all?
Not really, Tom. I tried to throw where it was comfortable for me, and I think, you know, if you go out and play catch with somebody, I think the whole thing about there's one arm angle that's right for everybody. That's not right. You know, I think whatever you're comfortable with is where, if you just pick up something and throw it, whether it's a rock
without
or a baseball,
thinking about it,
that you're going to find your own comfortable, your own personal arm angle, what's best for you.
So for a teenager that wants to be a pitcher, he's better off doing that. Playing catch, finding something that feels comfortable than looking at Cole Hamels or Tyler Skaggs and say, that's how I'm going to throw.
Yeah, exactly. Now, once you're comfortable with how you're throwing, then you look at somebody like Hamels or somebody like Skaggs that is similar in stature and similar to the way you naturally throw.
Yeah.
And you can pick up some tips, some mechanical tips, some execution tips. But to pattern yourself and say, oh, I'm going to throw just like him, you may not be the same guy.
Yeah.
2-1 to Desmond. 3-1. Oh, Ian not expanding his strike zone here. He's got Delino DeShields at first, 1 out here in the Ranger 5th inning. Desmond batting second of the order, trying to get aboard to join DeShields with Carlos Beltran next.
Well as Skaggs has thrown, he's still walked 4 batters
right.
in 5 innings. So he hasn't been pinpoint by any stretch of the imagination.
Had a pretty good fastball to work with there. Ian Desmond fouled it into the glove of Jet Bandy. So the count is full. And with 1 out now, I would imagine that Delino DeShields would be turned loose at first. See if he can get something going, give Desmond a chance to maybe drive the ball to right field. Pretty good size hole on the right side anyway. Delino back to first. Now this is like a hit and run where you're not trying to get a stealing jump from first. You're trying to get a good jump, but you want to make sure that you don't get picked off. Delino with excellent speed, stepping off that lead. Skaggs okays the sign. Delino staying put, calls strike 3. And Desmond on his way to first, and not so fast, said home plate umpire Jerry Meals.
Yeah, that one got in the strike zone. Tough part of the strike zone, right in the lower quadrant on the outside corner. Good pitch by Skaggs.
Yep. 8th strikeout for Tyler Skaggs. 2 away. Carlos Beltran has lined to left and been called out on strikes. There goes the Shields. The pitch is a strike. The throw is late. And Delino with the stolen base now has himself in scoring position. Not much Jet Bandy could do. And that's one thing about a guy like Skaggs who has that big leg kick. If you see him enough and you get the right read on him, you can have a pretty easy stolen base when you have the speed that Delino DeShields has.
Delino's one of those guys that seems to reach his maximum speed quicker than most runners.
So DeShields now in scoring position. Scoreless ball game here in the 5th. Chopper to third. From deep behind the bag, Beltran throwing out, and that'll do it. Rangers get a leadoff walk, but strand a runner. We're halfway through the ball game in Anaheim. No score. Rangers and Angels. Company Dollar Hot Dog Night is coming up Wednesday, September 21st. These Angels will be in town to take on the Rangers. You can head on out to Globe Life Park early and enjoy all the hot dogs you can eat for just $1 each. Get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. It's family night at the ballpark. There's the better-looking male in our family, my son Steven. He's practicing. He's going to take over here any second.
You got to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, Yu Darvish out to the hill now. He will face Jeffrey Marte to start off this 5th inning. It'll be Marte, Simmons, and Bandy. Fastball for strike 1 from Darvish. Marte had a ground ball to Elvis his first time up. Angels have 1 base hit. They have 1 walk off of Yu Darvish. That has been the sum total of their offense. Darvish with 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. Base hit to left. That breaking ball hung up, and Marte made Darvish pay for it. Leadoff single. Now Andrelton Simmons will come to the plate.
That strike zone, that pitch entered the strike zone in an area that you want to avoid. And luckily, all it was a single to left field. That's one that could have been launched.
Leadoff single in the 4th, leadoff single in the 5th. Caused no damage last inning. We'll see what Darvish can do with it here in the 5th inning. Andrelton Simmons struck out the first time he faced Darvish.
Something he doesn't do very often. He's only struck out 34 times. 104 games, only 34 strikeouts. 35 now.
Time called. Got a ubiquitous beach ball on the field.
Man, I thought they stopped doing that a long time ago.
No.
Someone must not have gotten the memo.
Still do the same thing with him, though. Ball boy or ball girl goes down there, grabs it, and pops it right away. Runner on the move. The pitch is chopped to Beltre at 3rd. A little hit and run, and Simmons thrown out, but into scoring position is Jeffrey Marte. Jet Bandy coming up.
Yeah, even though it was a hit and run, Marte, if Simmons chose not to swing at that ball, Marte could have walked into second base. He had a big jump. So with that jump, he'll take the 1 out.
Marte now in scoring position. Jet Bandy had a ground ball to short his first time to the plate. Big crowd on hand on this Friday night out here at Angel Stadium. It's Star Wars night. I think it's Star Wars weekend out here in Anaheim.
That's a pretty interesting note on their scoreboard about Jet Bandy. He was coached by Mike Scioscia in 1999 as a 10-year-old Little Leaguer and was a teammate of Mike's son, Matt. Wow.
Yeah, that was the year before Mike Scioscia took over as the Angels manager.
Pretty good Little League coach right there.
Not bad.
You know, you hear all the time people kind of bragging about their baseball knowledge, saying, hey, I was a Little League coach.
Yeah.
Right, Mike Scioscia went from the Little League right to the big leagues.
And Mike Scioscia has been at the helm of the Angels ever since 2000. 1-0. Now 2 balls and no strikes to Bandy.
Jet Bandy also has one of the better sports names, too. It's pretty tough to beat that name. Jet Bandy. Kind of an unlikely sports name. Archimedes Caminero. That's a little bit different. Just came from Seattle where he was in their bullpen.
You're right about that. Now, if you were a parent, what would you be thinking the nickname for Archimedes is going to be?
Archie?
Archie? Sure, it's not going to be Bob. 2-1 pitch instead. Darvish going to take a look back at second. Marte has already shown pretty good speed, and Darvish very wise to keep a closer eye on him at second. And he's going to talk to Jonathan Lucroy. Probably wants Lucroy to keep an eye on Marte for him. Say, look, you see him getting off, let me know. You see him trying to expand that lead where I'm looking at you, let me know. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out. Out of play. And an even count at 2-2. Bandy trying to become just the 4th Angels rookie catcher to have 25 RBI in a season. He has 24 at the moment. Got him swinging. Good breaking ball.
Tipped it?
Bandy's standing there like, hey, didn't I tip that ball? And Jerry Meals saying, no.
No, you didn't tip it.
No, they haven't changed the rules. You still get only 3 strikes.
You know, with Bandy making this kind of a reaction, you have to think that he tipped it. I don't know why he would stay out there, but I don't think he's going to get much satisfaction.
No, it's going to go down as a strikeout, but I agree with you. And there was no hesitation either.
No.
It goes down as the 8th strikeout for Darvish tonight. Let's see with our slowed down motion.
Tough to tell. If he did, he barely touched it.
It sure didn't look like it on that swing.
No, it didn't. It didn't look like it.
Maybe he just has more hope than most of us.
Maybe we're more theatrical than we knew him to be.
So 2 outs, and here's Cliff Pennington. Pennington called out on strikes in the 3rd. Both starting pitchers now have 8 strikeouts tonight. Darvish in 4 2/3 and Tyler Skaggs in 5. One 1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Now, you remember last time up, Pennington got caught looking at a 3-2 curveball from Darvish. This is not a guy that, now with the go-ahead run out at second base, you want to mess around with. And a fly ball to shallow left. Long run toward the line. Delino there and makes the catch. So Darvish works around that leadoff single. 1 left for the Angels. After 5 complete, Rangers nothing, Angels nothing. time now for the Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $200 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Gary Shaw from Springtown will win $200. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Gary is going to take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, Gary, hang on to your hat. So you got the right guys coming up. You got Adrian Beltre, Rougned Odor, and Jonathan Lucroy. And between them, they have about 78 home runs. Beltre takes the first pitch low from Tyler Skaggs. Adrian, a first inning single. Last time he was robbed by Yunel Escobar down there at third. Lower inside part of the strike zone. It's 1-1. It's left-handed pitching. Beltre, on base plus slugging average of 10-12. 11th highest in Major League Baseball. Popped him up shallow right field. A trio of Angels in pursuit. It's Cole Calhoun to get there in time. Out number one. And before Rougned Odor steps up, we're going to send it over to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you. And for the Rangers, that's very good news. Rangers now with a 9-game lead as they play here against the Angels. There's the National League Central. Cubs, the first team to 90 wins this year, 90 and 50. And a 16-game lead over the second place St. Louis Cardinals. The Cubs' magic number is 7.
Well, anything can happen in the postseason, but right now, you have to say they've had the best regular season. Look at them, 2-4. They've got 3 of the top 5 ERA leaders in the National League. Kyle Hendricks leads. Lester and Arrieta round out the top 5. Not to mention what their lineup does.
Breaking ball stays high. It's 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, they're leading the league in runs scored, I think, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
So when you don't give up many runs and you score a lot, the chances of winning are pretty good.
He should be winning a lot of games. They're going to win probably 105 games.
Rougned trying to go up and get on top of that one. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, he knows it. That's the one he has to lay off of. He gets aggressive. He gets anxious. And occasionally he'll get a little smile on his face. It felt like Adrian Beltre swinging at that one. The only thing is Adrian can hit those pitches.
Yeah, that's right.
Not many other people can.
Broken bat. Business into the bat, headed down toward first base. That's foul. The ball's foul.
That bat took a piece of turf out when it hit.
Oh, Rougned, a new piece of lumber to work with. Right off the end of the bat that time, huh?
Sure did.
Boink. Still 2-2. No broken bat there, but it's pulled well foul. Into the upper deck down the right side. Odor making Skaggs work a little bit. Tyler Skaggs getting ready for his 94th pitch of the night. Got him on the fist, and this one's popped up. Third baseman Escobar near the mound. 2 gone.
Catcher number 25, Jonathan Lucroy.
No, base is empty, and Jonathan Lucroy will step to the plate. Lucroy has struck out both times And he has faced Skaggs tonight. .297 overall average for the Ranger catcher. On base plus slugging, almost .870. Right back to Skaggs. Little underhand flip, and that'll do it. Rangers go quietly in the sixth, 3 up, 3 down. After 5.5, we are still scoreless in Anaheim. Game of the season and the first 15,000 fans that come into the ballpark on Saturday, October 1st, will receive a Colby Lewis bobblehead. That's courtesy of Kroger. Come on out and support your Rangers. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Colby Lewis will work here on Sunday afternoon. His first outing back, coming off the disabled list, on the list for a couple of months. Yu Darvish coming off the disabled list right after the All-Star break and has pitched well here tonight. He has allowed the Angels just 2 hits and had 1 walk through 5 innings. He has struck out 8. Here in the 6th, he will face the top of the order: Yunel Escobar, Cole Calhoun, and Mike Trout. Escobar has walked and struck out this evening. Average at .319 for the Angel third baseman. Up and in, and he went around, says Mike Winters down there at first.
His hands didn't go around, but the bat did.
The bat didn't land there by home plate. Does that count if you swing with your hands and the bat stays behind, you let the bat go?
I think it counts. At least Mike Winters thought it did.
That's right. One and one. Darvish, a very modest pitch count of 68 so far. He had 41 strikes, 27 balls tonight. Now the right-hander with a 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. There's the inning by inning. Very, very economical, miserly-like. 16 in that first inning. The most that Darvish has used in any one frame. And keep in mind now, he has struck out 8 in the first 5. So even though he's economical with the pitches, getting the results that we're accustomed to seeing from Yu Darvish, that being the high strikeout total. Count of 2 balls and 2 strikes to Escobar. Escobar, 2 out of 14, I should say, against Darvish, with the 0 for 1 tonight. Darvish bouncing off the mound, bare hands, and throws to get it.
Play. Wow.
There's a little bit of athleticism by you, Darvish.
Yeah, I think you see that once every game or every other game. Darvish being able to bounce off the mound and field his position. Very nice job right there. He, I think, wanted to pick it up with his glove in his hand, but realized might not have time to do that. Yep. So he moved his glove, used his hand, and threw a nice strike over to first base. So helping himself out with a good defensive play.
Very nicely done. And don't forget, Yu Darvish goes about 6'5" and about 220 pounds or so.
Yep.
That's a lot of man to be bouncing around like that. No, 1 away base is empty for Cole Calhoun, who singled leading off the 4th inning. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Calhoun hitting at 267 as he faces Darvish. 16 home runs for Calhoun. He had 26 home runs last year. This one gets in on him and he pops it up. Elvis Andrus there. 2 gone. Now the base is empty. Mike Trout comes up for the 3rd time. But for Darvish, one of the best outings that he's had as far as results are concerned. 5 2/3 shutout innings so far. You have to go back to the outing he had against Houston about a month ago, 7th of August. And 7 shutout innings, only threw 93 pitches that evening. And he's doing the same kind of thing to the Angels here tonight. Trout shoots it out of play to the right, 0-1.
Our statistician, Brian Hagan, gave us something about Mike Trout. Early in the count, he's been exceptional this year. On the first pitch, his average is .593, 16 for 27. When he puts the ball in play. 0-1, it's 442, and 1-0, 441. So early in the count, when he puts the ball in play, he generally has had great success this year. And if you go back to last year, on the first pitch, he was only 5 for 26. This year, he's 16 for 27. So thank you for that, Brian. There we go. There's Brian. Wave your hand, Brian, so we know who you are. There he is. John Reynolds
getting his pitch in there.
That's right. He's been sweating a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Working hard.
What's that say? Pitch. Ah, that's the new TV series, isn't it? Johnny had a major part in that thing. New series, September 22nd. Yeah, John branching out as an executive in the business now.
Executive producer?
Executive producer.
Good.
I mean, we won't see him up in the booth here much longer. He's going to be on to bigger and better things.
Oh, he might stop by.
People calling him from all over the world trying to get him involved now. If you want a piece of Johnny Reynolds, you better call quick. What's your agent's name, John?
Find out who his people are. You get in touch with his people. 1-2 to Trout. Call, strike 3, did it again. Trout didn't believe that, but 2nd time he's been called out on strikes. Darvish with 9 punch-outs. We have gone through 6, still scoreless at Anaheim. Not a lot of runs to show you. As a matter of fact, none. It's been Yu Darvish with a variety of strikeout pitches tonight, 9 of them through his 6 innings of work. He's been opposed by Tyler Skaggs, who in 6 innings had 8 punch-outs. Hitters going to file agreements about tonight, both teams. Both of them going through shutout after shutout inning. But for the Rangers side of things, that's the last they will see of Tyler Skaggs tonight. He is done after 6. Mike Morin, hard-throwing right-hander with a great changeup, has come out of the Angels bullpen to take over. Morin appearing in his 52nd ball game. 2-2 with a 4.50 ERA, league hitting a 2.45 against him. 50 innings of work, 44 strikeouts, just 13 walks for Morin.
Yeah, Morin's a very solid reliever, but I can't imagine the Ranger hitters are sad to see Tyler Skaggs go. Mitch Moreland really was the only one that turned on one and hit the ball hard. Morin was in command of the game, if you can be, with 4 walks, but he pitched around those walks pretty easily.
Well, Mitch with a walk and that double that Tom was talking about. Going the other way, that's hit well to left field. Going back and getting turned around is Marte. It's over his head. Moreland into second with a leadoff double, his second 2-bagger of the night.
Boy, if you want a definition of getting eaten up by a line drive, that was it right there. Marte completely fooled by the way that ball sliced. It started off to his left and ended up to his right. Mitch hit it a little bit toward the end of the bat, but still hit it hard. That ball is more toward center field, but it's curving toward left field, and just completely went over his head and by him. So 2 well-hit doubles and a walk for Mitch tonight.
Good to see Mitch drive that ball the other way, too, and that when we see him start doing that, he had a little bit of a downturn here for a couple of games, but that's very impressive. So he's out there in scoring position. Here's Carlos Gomez. Chopper up the middle. That's going to get Moreland over to third, and Gomez just barely thrown out by the shortstop Simmons.
The Angels were playing in at the corners, anticipating a bunt. And Carlos hit the ball enough toward the middle to move Mitch over to third base, so he got the job done without bunting.
Yep, sure did. Hitting it to the left of the runner, or as we're looking at it, to the right of the runner, but nice break, too, by Mitch Moreland. Reading that ball off the bat well. So, now with Moreland at third and 1 out, Elvis Andrus comes up and he has the infield drawn all the way in. Elvis, the top batting average on the Rangers with runners in scoring position, hitting .370. That is third in the American League. Morin with the first pitch to Elvis. Line drive, base hit left field. Moreland scores. Andrus comes through one more time. The Rangers lead it 1-0.
Boy, he didn't waste any time either. Looked like a slider that he jumped on. See the replay to know for sure. Whatever it was, Elvis lined it over shortstop in a hurry. Now, if the shortstop was back, he might have been able to catch it.
Yeah.
But way in like he was, it went over his head. That's a slider. Not a terrible pitch. It's down and away. Elvis concentrating, making solid contact, comes through again with men in scoring position.
For Elvis, now hitting up over .440 with runners in scoring position since the middle of June. And he has just driven Mike Morin from this ball game. Mike Scioscia out to take the ball. Moreland finished, or I should say Morin finished. Moreland almost finished him single-handedly. The Rangers leading 1-0, so a pitching change again underway here in Anaheim. We'll be back to Angel Stadium right after this. is driving in the run, and now Cody Iggy, the left-hander, has come in out of the Angel bullpen. Iggy, one of 3 left-handers that Mike Scioscia has at his disposal down there. Iggy appearing in his 9th ball game. He has had some problems. An 8.44 ERA. He's given up those runs in 5 1/3 innings of work. A 4.58 opponent's batting average, and he will face Nomar Mazara, who has come off the Ranger bench. Mazara hitting for Delino DeShields. And Nomar, did he check his swing? No, he did not. That is strike 1. Well, Mazara summoned to pinch hit for DeShields when Mike Morin was still in the ballgame. Once Mike Scioscia saw that the left-hander was going to bat, he went to Cody Iggy. Wide with a breaking ball, 1-1. E.G., a slightly built left-hander, 25-year-old. He has been used pretty extensively since coming up to the big leagues, a September call-up. Elvis Diamondback at first. Originally a Rangers draft pick, 15th round out of University of Louisville. One ball and 2 strikes after the foul ball. E.G., who earlier this season had his major league debut with the Miami Marlins. That was back in April. Spent most of the year at AAA. Now up with the Angels for the month of September. Out of play off the bat of Mazara. Crowd getting a little testy. They're booing their own after the missed foul pop. Oh my goodness.
Be careful. Be careful. Let it go.
Yeah. Hit hard and through to right field, a base hit. Elvis rounding second. He is headed to third. The throw not nearly in time, and the Rangers now, with still 1 out, have runners at the corners for Ian Desmond.
Yeah, nice job of hitting by Nomar. Brought in the lefty to face him. Kind of a sidewinding guy with a pretty good slider. And Nomar hung right in there and ripped that ball into right field, and you're going to see a new pitcher. That ball hung on the inside part of the ball. Actually out over the plate. Nice job.
So Mazara with a pinch hit single. Only hitter that E.G. is going to face. He is gone for the evening. Another pitching change underway here in Anaheim. Rangers on top 1-0. They are looking for more. We are back right after this. 7th, they are looking for more. Ian Desmond coming to the plate with runners at first and third. The new pitcher into the ball game now for the Angels, Jose Valdez, a 26-year-old right-hander. Angels acquired Valdez from Detroit back on June the 7th. Cash considerations, and he was sent to AAA, has been since called up to the big leagues. So Valdez appearing in his 15th ball game tonight. 1-1 record, a 2.51 ERA. The opposition hitting just 173 against Valdez. Now, Ian Desmond, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, will step to the plate. He has Elvis Andrus at third, Nomar Mazara at first. Rangers with a run across to take a 1-0 lead, and they are looking for more.
Valdez has been tough to hit, but he's also had a hard time throwing strikes. Got 11 walks in 14 innings, so patient at-bats are kind of the name of the game right here.
Runners in scoring position this year, Ian Desmond at .302. And he has 10 hits in his last 30 times to the plate in these situations. 1-0 pitch. Slider. 1-1. Valdez out of the Dominican Republic. Tigers signed him as a non-drafted free agent back in 2009. Mazara back standing at first base. Saw Ian Desmond with the ability to score that runner from third with less than 2 outs. Rangers have done well in that category this year. That doesn't always show up in the runners in scoring position stat. Valdez ready for the 1-1. 2-1. See the kind of arm that Valdez has, 96 when he elevates that fastball. Valdez made his major league debut last year with the Tigers. Appeared in 7 ball games. Elvis, after the RBI single, now around at third base. Could be a double play. Angels turn it over. And that'll do it for the Rangers in the 7th. When they take the lead, they get a run on 3 hits and leave 1. We'll take the stretch here in Anaheim. 1-0 Rangers. This 3-game series here in Anaheim, and Progressive showing you the Rangers' upcoming schedule. Finishing off that weekend here, and tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon. Then it's on to Houston 3 against the Astros at Minute Maid Park Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. Off day Thursday, back home to take on the A's and the Angels. And then on the road one final time during the regular season, a 3-game trip to Oakland before the Rangers come back to Globe Life Park to finish off the 2016 regular season. Now, Yu Darvish granted a 1-0 lead to protect. And here in the 7th inning, Darvish will face Albert Pujols, C.J. Cron, and Jeffrey Marte. Darvish has 77 pitches used through the first 6 innings. Pujols has struck out both times that he has faced the Ranger right-hander tonight. Darvish, 9 strikeouts. He's allowed 2 base hits and 1 walk. And the breaking ball cuts the plate in half. Nomar Mazara stays in the ballgame, takes over in right field. Mazara had that pinch hit single when Carlos Gomez moves from right over to left. Oh, 0-1 to Pujols. Albert, a .270 season average. And the Angels put out their notes for their hitters. They use about a page and a half for Albert Pujols, talking about the all-time lists that he is such a prominent member of. Fly ball to center. Ian Desmond camped underneath it. 1 gone.
Well, Darvish still featuring a mid-90s fastball. That little pop up to center field came on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, I can't imagine a much more perfect evening to pitch on. It's cool, but yet it's not so cool. You lose your sweat that you have built up.
No, it's perfect.
And Darvish taking advantage of it. He's only at 80 pitches, 50 strikes, 30 balls. 1 out here in the 7th inning. C.J. Cron is grounded out and struck out against Darvish tonight. Hit him with a breaking ball that just completely slipped out of his hand. Jeff Bannister saying, what in the world was that? C.J. Cron said, thank you very much. I'll walk on down to first.
Cron had time to think about that one. He's got a pad on his elbow. And said, I got a better chance of getting to first base if I let this hit me than if I get out of the way and stay in the at-bat.
No, just the 4th base runner tonight against Darvish. 1 on, 1 out, Jeffrey Marte. Had a single leading off the 5th inning. He is 1 for 2. Rangers shade him a couple of steps around to the left, looking for that double play grounder. Strike 1 at the knees. For 9 tonight are the Angels with runners on base against Darvish. Kind of fits right in with where Yu Darvish has been since coming back into the Ranger rotation. 0-2. I mentioned that Darvish hadn't given up much with runners in scoring position. He's given up even less with runners on base in general. 164 average when men are on base any place. Ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Marte. C.J. Cron, the modest lead at first. Jonathan Lucroy flashing the signs out. Marte.
That's just, I don't want to strike out,
Yeah.
so I'm going to try to touch this ball.
It's about as late as you can swing and still hit the ball without it being in the catcher's glove. Outstanding evening for Yu Darvish. Look at that, 84 pitches, 16 in the first, nothing else over 14. That's grabbing the other team by the throat and not letting go. Nice stop by Jonathan Lucroy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And again, we'll take you back to that first time that Lucroy and Darvish worked together in Baltimore. The day that Jonathan joined the ball club, the 2nd of August, and Darvish came out after that ball game and said, you know, I shook him off 3 times when the ball left the ballpark. He said, I'm not going to do that anymore. And that tells you right there the kind of relationship they develop very quickly. And when you're dealing with somebody that has the competitiveness and the stuff of Yu Darvish, and you get that kind of respect from him, you got a pretty good thing going. Fair ball behind the bag to second, and they get the out there on the sliding C.J. Cron. And Mike Scioscia said, hang on here a second. We want to give our video guys a chance to look at that.
It always tends to look like the guy's off the base. And then you see the replay and you go, okay, kept his foot on the bag and jumped as he was catching it. Always looks that way, but let's watch. Yeah, he's on the base, but he wasn't on the base long. He saw that slide coming into second base and got out of the way.
Yeah, it's amazing. That play, more than anything else we've seen a replay, I think is the toughest one to reconcile.
Yeah, and kind of right along with it is a very similar play at first base when the first baseman comes off the bag. It looks like he's off, to your eye, it looks like he's off the bag, but to the replay, no.
So, nice job by Beltre and Odor to get the lead runner. Now 2 outs, Marte at first and Andrelton Simmons at the plate. Chopper foul. Beltre had his glove off in his throwing hand. He was going to fire the glove at it. He had to.
He had the third base line covered too. I don't think he can get it by him fair.
Simmons tonight has struck out and grounded to Beltre at third. Rangers leading 1-0. Angels batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. You saw earlier Matt Bush loosening in the Ranger bullpen. Simmons, a .282 hitter, is waiting.
Oh, little Adrian.
Yeah, that was unique.
He had a hanger.
Yes, he did.
He was going for the home run. He's only had 1 this year. He was trying to double his amount right there with 1. If he was going to do it, he had the pitch to do it right there.
Well, better than half the time with 2 strikes, he puts the ball in play when he swings at it. That's pretty impressive. That's the highest percentage in Major League Baseball. Nothing and 2. Darvish is set. Popped up. Lucroy over to take a look, but it's just back in the first row. Yeah, we'll try it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Rangers tonight, a run on 5 hits. The run came on 3 hits that they put together in the top of the 7th inning. Angels, no runs on 2 hits. They have the tying run at first and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. There goes Marte. The pitch is line foul. And again, Marte, a huge jump at first base.
Yeah, the risk is with Marte running, you've got a really good contact hitter in Simmons at the plate. If he puts the ball in play and it's like a single, double type ball, maybe it's a single, maybe it's a double, the runner moving has a chance to score on that ball.
Yep.
Ball in the gap that the outfielder cuts off, even though it's not a surefire double, might be a surefire run.
Yeah, Marte establishing that lead early. And now Lucroy going to go out and talk to Yu Darvish. Important pitch here, and for the reason you just mentioned, Tom, Simmons is a guy that, even though you get him down 2 strikes, that doesn't change how tough a hitter he can be.
No.
And this is a spot where you don't want a contact hitter to beat you with contact, the kind of ball you're talking about. Simmons very good at taking the ball the other way. And if he hits a ball down the line in right field, Marte's speed, if he's moving at all, he's going to score.
And Simmons only struck out 35 times. So he pretty good bet to put it in play, unless Darvish has struck him out once today, unless he makes that same pitch, which was a good slider.
Well, he came back with a splitter that time.
Yeah, almost missed it.
Still 0-2. Jonathan Lucroy looking into the Ranger dugout for some guidance. See what they come up with. Infield a couple of steps around to the left for Andrelton Simmons. Outfield in a similar fashion. Again, the 0-2. Marte on the move. The pitch is in the dirt, and Jeffrey Marte will be standing at second base. Stolen base gets him into scoring position. Second stolen base of the year for Jeffrey Marte. Yu Darvish, 92 pitches into this ball game. Trying to get this final out of the 7th inning. Fouled straight back. Where you get into trouble with a guy like Simmons is if you elevate the ball out over the plate. You allow him to take the ball the other way when a pitch is up. Chances of him hurting you are significantly increased. Throw the ball down and preferably on the inner part of the plate, get him to hit the ball onto the ground. 2-2. Darvish slowing things down markedly here. Trying to figure out a way to get out of this inning and maintain that 1-0 Ranger advantage. Right center field, that is going to be up the alley. Marte will score. Simmons streaking around second, not stopping there. Throw to third, not in time. It's a tie ball game at 1-1.
That was a pretty good call, Buzz. That was a fastball up and out over the plate. We talked about Simmons. Simmons has been a .328 hitter in his last 240 at-bats. So he's on a pretty good roll, driving the ball, getting his base hits. He couldn't put him away with a breaking ball, which he was trying to do. That's how he struck him out in the second inning. So he tried a fastball, gets it up, out over the plate, comes back right down the center of the plate to a guy swinging the bat well, and There's the result. Tie ball game.
So that's going to do it for you, Darvish. Jeff Bannister out after this Andrelton Simmons three-bagger ties the game. Matt Bush has been summoned from the Ranger bullpen. And we will take a timeout for this pitching change. We're back right after this. To tie this ball game with a two-out triple by Andrelton Simmons. That chases Yu Darvish from the game. Brings in Matt Bush, the 30-year-old rookie right-hander. Bush appearing in his 49th ball game of the year, 6-2. A 3.04 ERA for Matt, 2.11 opponent's batting average. He is facing Jet Bandy, the catcher. Ball one, high and outside. Bandy, a ground ball to short and a strikeout. And against Matt Bush, Bandy 2 for 2. One and one. So the game in Matt Bush's hands now. Last time we saw Matt 3 days ago in Seattle. 1-2. Got his high octane tonight. That's something we've seen from Matt. Matt's had 2 days off now since his last appearance. And normally he gets that time away, he comes back with a big fastball. Looks like he's got it here this evening. Got him swinging. Just blew him right away, and that will do it. The Angels, though, come back to tie the ball game. A run on a hit, one left after 7, tied at 1. TexASA.com at-bat app. You stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a lot more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone or tablet. A 1-1 ball game as we head to the 8th inning, and J.C. Ramirez, 28-year-old right-hander, has taken over on the hill for the Angels. Ramirez, often used this year, 60th appearance of 2016, a 2-3 record, 486 earned run average, 66 and 2/3 innings. Shane Robinson has come out of the Angel dugout to take over in left field. Carlos Beltran will start things for the Rangers. It'll be Beltran, Beltre, and Odor. Carlos 0 for 3 tonight. Takes ball 1. Beltran with that 11-game hitting streak on the line here this evening. Chop foul. That is a ball and a strike now. Beltran tonight has lined to left field, struck out, and grounded to third. All 3 of those at-bats against the starter, Tyler Skaggs. So neither starter will have a decision in this ball game. Yu Darvish and Tyler Skaggs pitched very effectively for 6 innings plus. Slowly hit ground ball to Crone. That is out number 1. And before Adrian Beltre steps to the plate, we're going to send it back to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break. All right, Dana, thank you.
It turned out to be a pretty good trade for Washington to acquire that kid.
He has certainly made a pretty good first impression, hasn't he? That fastball from J.C. Ramirez turning Adrian Beltre around. How that didn't hit Adrian, I have no idea. Beltre 1 for 3 tonight, a first inning single. 1-1. Season average at .293 for the Ranger third sacker. That ball's ripped up the gap in left center field. Going way back. Goodbye. A low line drive from Adrian Beltre, his 27th home run of the year. The Rangers regain the lead. It's 2-1.
It's that time of year, and Adrian's doing his thing. Last 30 games, he's hit .366, 10 home runs, 27 RBIs coming into the game, and he's 2 for 4 in this game with a home run and another RBI. That's pretty much what you expect from him.
Man.
I didn't know if that was going to get
I didn't either.
High enough to get out of here. Boy, right in his wheelhouse, too. And a little bit of movement right back to the center of his sweet spot of his bat.
I wish I could hit a golf ball like that.
Yeah, me too.
It took off. Man. So, Rangers back on top. Thanks to this man. Here's Rougned Odor. 0-2. We'll see how quickly that ball left the bat.
102.
Pretty good, Tom.
I'm starting to lower my sights. I always want to say it goes harder than it does.
And Ramirez covering. Odor is retired. That's out number 2.
Well, when you see a ball hit like that, I mean, it's hit about as hard as he can hit a ball. And then you hear that Nelly Cruz or Giancarlo Stanton hit one 114, 119. it just is mind-boggling how hard they must have hit those balls.
Yeah.
Of course, we saw Stanton in batting practice. I saw him during the All-Star weekend, and then we've seen him in Texas. And those line drives that he hit they're hit like no other person hits a line drive. They really almost do look like golf balls.
Yeah, same trajectory that Adrian just hit it, except about 40 feet further.
Yeah.
Carry-wise.
It's just unbelievable how hard he hits the ball.
Well, we'll take what Adrian offered. That's plenty for tonight. So Adrian Beltre. Yeah, and you're right. This time of year, turn the page to September and look out.
Pretty much the same thing for him last year.
Here's a base hit for Lucroy, right back up the middle. Jonathan has his first hit of the night. 2-out single. Mitch Moreland coming up. And with that home run, Adrian Beltre now tying Jason Giambi for 41st on the all-time list. Home run number 440. And my old college teammate Dave Kingman is next on that list at 442.
Was Kingman a pitcher in college?
Yes. Yeah.
Was he pretty good pitcher?
Yes. Yeah. He pitched and played left field.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah. And he was a hard-throwing right-hander that threw kind of three-quarters out there, and nobody really wanted to face him because he had no idea where the ball was going. I think, if I remember correctly, he pitched a couple of times for the Giants when he got to the big leagues in San Francisco. Yeah. And he was hitting the ball too far, so they just decided that was not going to work.
He must have launched some long ones for you.
Oh, my goodness. He could hit him as far as anybody I've ever seen. That includes Jim Rice, who I had personal experience with. Mitch Moreland tonight, 2 for 2, a pair of doubles and a walk. Mitch has hit the ball hard both times that he has doubled here this evening. Slicing out of play down the left side. Smile on Adrian Beltre's face. Rangers leading 2-1 thanks to his 27th home run. Lucroy at first. 0-2 to Mitch Moreland, who asked for time now. J.C. Ramirez ready to work to Moreland. Mitch with the 2 doubles now right back at 250. He had slipped down 3 or 4 points below the 250 mark, but right back up there. Keep this guy hot down at the 7th spot in the order. A pretty valuable weapon. Getting behind Lucroy and in front of Carlos Gomez and Elvis Andrus. Talk a lot about lengthening out the lineup, and Rangers have been able to do that.
Yeah, with Elvis sitting down near the bottom, they can definitely do that.
Elvis 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Mitch, of course, the 2 doubles. Jonathan Lucroy hitting 6th, has the base hit. Carlos Gomez. The line drive to right. Mitch has his 3rd hit of the night. Round second, Lucroy. He is heading into 3rd. He will be there safely. Mitch 3 for 3. Rangers have runners at the corners for Carlos Gomez.
Boy, those are 4 good at bats for Mitch. His swings right now tonight he's right on the ball. When he gets one to hit, he rips it. He's taking pitches that are borderline pitches. An off-speed pitch, it looked like, right down the middle of the plate. He smoked it to right field. So the Rangers with a pair of 2-out hits
Now Carlos Gomez trying to extend the Ranger lead. Carlos tonight 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground ball to short. Running up as if to bunt, and that had all the Angel infielders running all over the place. Strike one. Escobar, the third baseman, and charging down the line. You have the shortstop Simmons and the second baseman Pennington charging in toward home, along with Crone at first. Out of play down the right side. 0-2 now.
Talked about Ramirez and walking 11 guys, and oh no, it's not Ramirez that did that. Sorry. He's come in and thrown 18 pitches, 15 strikes.
Mitch with his second 3-hit game of the season tonight. Had one against the Rockies also. Carlos Gomez trying to extend the Ranger lead. 1-2.
Good one to lay off of.
Rangers 2 runs on 8 hits tonight. Angels 1 run on 3 hits. Just getting a piece of that one to stay alive. Like a cutter or hard slider from Ramirez. Foul ball. Also got a pretty good piece of Jet Bandy behind the plate. Still 1-2. It's foul back just to our right. Gomez against J.C. Ramirez, 3 for 6 in past matchups. Bandy wants that fastball away. Simmons, a little toss to Pennington. That'll do it for the Rangers. But Adrian Beltre gets the Rangers back out in front. His 27th home run of the year, a line drive smash to left. After 7.5, Rangers 2, Angels 1.
back to Angels Stadium. Rangers with that 2-1 lead. They will try to take it home the rest of the way. We appreciate you staying up late with us all these nights this week. One more late night game, not quite as late tomorrow night as we bring you game 2 of this 3-game set with the Angels. You notice the time. Coverage beginning at 7:30 with Rangers Live. AT&T high-speed internet reminds me to remind you that tomorrow night's game is an hour earlier. See if the Rangers can hold on to this 2-1 lead, guys.
All right, John, thank you. Cole Hamels will be out there tomorrow night teeing it up for you. Right now, Matt Bush teeing things up. Shallow fly ball to center. That is out number 1 as Pennington flies out. And next will be the top of the order and Yunel Escobar. Jared Hoying has come to the game. He's taken over defensively out in right field. Hanser Alberto has come in to play second base. You saw Rougned Odor kind of pulling up at third base a couple of innings ago, a little bit tenderly. So we'll keep an ear out, and if we get any information about Rougned Odor, we'll certainly pass it along to you. Escobar, chopper over the mound, and right there, Hanser Alberto. So the ball found the newest member of the Ranger infield, and he made the play flawlessly. 2 gone.
Right fielder, number 56, Cole Calhoun.
Well, Matt Bush has retired the 3 Angels that he has faced. A strikeout to end the 7th, a fly out, and a ground out to begin the 8th. And now he'll deal with Cole Calhoun. Calhoun 1 for 3 tonight, had a single to center field starting off the 4th inning. Matt Bush so far just 7 pitches to get the 3 outs. Good breaking ball for strike 1.
Good choice of pitches, too.
Yeah.
The way he swung at that, he was trying to tie the game up.
Calhoun, after a rather circuitous journey around the home plate area, back in there. Another breaking ball, 0-2. Matt Bush from down Interstate 5, about 75 miles, the San Diego area. Right-hander looking in for the signs. Now he is ready. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Calhoun a .267 average. He has the home run power we mentioned, 16 home runs this year. Two and two. Now Lucroy flashing the signs out. Matt Bush picks 1 out. Breaking ball got him swinging. The yellow hammer from Matt Bush, a 1-2-3 8th inning. We're going to the 9th in Anaheim. 2-1 Rangers. The top of the ninth inning, leading 2-1. They've out-hit the Angels 8-3 here this evening. Deolis Guerra is the newest pitcher on the mound for the Angels. Guerra, 36th appearance of the year, a 2.89 ERA and a 2.26 opponent's batting average. He's a 27-year-old out of Venezuela.
One thing for sure, Buzz, when you look at those numbers, he's probably not going to walk anybody. 4 walks in 46 innings.
That's something.
Well, he's been firing some strikes.
Guerra will face the number 9 man in the order, Elvis Andrus, leading off here in the ninth inning. Elvis 1 for 2 tonight. He had a big RBI single in the 7th inning, which temporarily had the Rangers out in front 1-0. Angels came back to tie it before Adrian Beltre belted one out of the ballpark. Guerra's first pitch, that bottom falling out of that for strike 1. Sam Dyson loosening in the Ranger bullpen. Last time we saw Sam 3 nights ago in Seattle, got his 32nd save, and it looks like he's going to have an opportunity for number 33 here tonight.
Yeah, 33 is going to be one of his toughest ones. Trout, Pujols, and Crone are the 3 hitters he'll face.
Angels don't have a more formidable threesome, unless you want to put Calhoun in there instead of Crone, but they are tough. 0-1 pitch. Shallow right center field. Pennington going out. Calhoun coming on and picks it right off Pennington's cap.
Pennington got out of the way just in time.
No, 1 away. Now back to the top of the order. Jared Hoying, who came on for Nomar Mazara defensively. He'll get an opportunity to have it at bat here. 233 average. 5 RBI for Hoying. 1 ball and no strikes. Hoying, part of the September call-ups for the Rangers, and his 2nd stint of the year with the big club. 1-1. Jared's come on in each of the last 3 ball games. Now make that 4 games since he was recalled. Primarily pinch running, but he has been every ball game. Made his major league debut back in May with the Rangers. 1-2. This year at AAA Round Rock, Hoying hit .269 with 16 home runs in 100 ball games. Got him swinging. Guerra with the punch out. 2 gone. And Ian Desmond will be next.
Pretty good assortment of off-speed pitches. Big guy, big motion.
Well, time to take a look at our AT&T high-speed internet. The difference in the ball game against J.C. Ramirez. Adrian Beltre lashed a low line drive that took 1 hop and got into the bleachers out there beyond the wall in deepest left center field. Beltre's 27th home run of the year. That is the difference for the Rangers. Desmond takes a high strike. 0-1. Ian tonight 0 for 3. And a walk back in the 1st inning. Simpson has struck out a couple of times, grounded into a double play. See, Desmond has had good success against Guerra. 3 out of 4 in the past. Simmons at short. And that is going to do it. So the Rangers go quietly in the 9th inning. Bottom of the 9th coming up. It is Sam Dyson time here in Anaheim. Rangers leading 2-1. Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By AT&T High-Speed Internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Well, the Rangers leading 2-1 as the Angels come to bat here in the bottom of the ninth. And to try and close out his 33rd save of the year, here is Sam Dyson. 65th appearance of 2016. 32 for 36 in save opportunities, a 264 earned run average. In the league, hitting 244 against him. Sam has struck out 47 and walked 19 in his 62 innings of work. As Tom told you, he is going to have his hands full. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, C.J. Cron in this ninth inning. Trout 0 for 3. Takes ball one. Mike Trout, a fielder's choice ground out in the fourth inning. He has struck out the other two times. All three of those at-bats against the starter, Yu Darvish, tonight. .94 with some heavy sink to it. 1-1.
Trout has the 5th highest average in the major leagues. And we've talked a couple of times this season about the quality of the second baseman around baseball. The 4 best averages in baseball all belong to second baseman.
And Trout leads off with a single to center field.
Well, he got what he wanted. He threw a good hard sinker down. Trout swung at it, dribbled it. Unfortunately, he dribbled it right up the middle for a base hit. Got him to swing at one before that. This is almost the same pitch. And Trout hit that one and found a hole with it.
No, just the 4th hit of the night for the Angels. Trout is aboard to lead off the ninth inning. Albert Pujols 0 for 3. Pujols struck out his first 2 times up. Last time up, fly to center. 2 for 7 in his career against Sam Dyson. Strike one. And Dyson needs to be aware of Trout at first base. Trout probably studied Dyson for a couple of pitches before deciding to take off if he does. But Trout very good. We mentioned 24 stolen bases in 29 attempts. And he's carrying the tying run in the ninth inning with nobody out. Just a little calling card to let Mike Trout know that Sam was thinking about it.
Pujols has hit into 21 double plays this year.
Pretty good candidate. Hits the ball reasonably hard. If you get him to hit it at somebody, you've got a real good shot. The 0-1 pitch from Dyson. Nothing in 2. Well, that's the area that Pujols is going to have trouble against Sam Dyson. You keep it in there off the plate on him, and he's going to swing at it. Sam's got a real good shot. Sam ahead of the count, looking for a put-away pitch here. As Tom told you, those 21 double play grounders off the bat of Albert Pujols this year. Popped him up. Elvis backpedaling into center, lets it fall, and they're going to have Trout out at second.
Now that is a good move.
Sure is.
As heads up and logical as that move was, I still didn't see it coming.
I didn't either.
He looked, I saw Elvis when the ball went up, he kind of looked and let it happen. But Albert's not going to be at first base anyway. But at least Trout's not going to be. Rafael Ortega will be the pinch runner.
So Ortega now at first base. 1 out. C.J. Cron, the hitter. Cron 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch his last time up. I don't know what Cron is complaining about, pointing out toward center field. If to say something beyond the wall out there was bothering him. Now Dyson, everybody ready to go. A little bit low for ball 1. Cron struck out in the second, grounded out to third in the 4th inning. Last time up, facing Yu Darvish in the 7th, took a 72-mile-an-hour curveball off the padding of his left elbow. 8 double plays off the bat of Cron this year. There goes Ortega. The pitch is fouled away. Ortega had a pretty good jump, but he will retrace his steps. It's now a ball and a strike. Ball off the left toe.
Got some protection there, but it still hurt. Keep it right down there. Sam's keeping the ball down so far pretty good.
Yep. 1-1. Again going, and again fouled down. We get word from the Ranger clubhouse, Ruben Odor out with a hamstring cramp tonight, so be evaluated tomorrow. And doesn't sound normally when they say a hamstring cramp, that's not generally a cause for alarm. Thrown 2 for 5 in previous matchups with Sam Dyson. Got him swinging.
He just kept pounding the bottom part of the strike zone. Did the same thing to Trout. Trout got a hold of one low and dribbled it up the middle. Cron swung at one a little bit too low to make any contact. Good job by Sam.
It's like Sam came back with a changeup, that power changeup, throw.
Yeah, big. Cron to offer at it.
So 2 outs. Ji-Man Choi. Switch hitting, power hitting first baseman has come off the bench. He is going to pinch hit for the number 6 spot. Previously occupied by Jeffrey Marte, and Shane Robinson had taken over that spot when he came in to play left field. Well, the conference out of the mound, going over the scouting report, refreshing the scouting report information about Ji-Man Choi. Two outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Tying run at first. Ji-Man Choi, a 165 average. Five home runs, 12 RBI. There goes Ortega. The pitch is low. The throw is low. And Ortega now in scoring position with 2 outs.
Ortega, and the other times he ran, had pretty good jumps. Sam a little bit deliberate to the plate.
A 1 ball and no strikes to Choi. Now this is the guy you want to get right here. You want to give Andrelton Simmons another opportunity to do some damage.
He's going to make contact, and he's hitting pretty good the last couple of months. So you're right. This is the guy to go get.
Simmons in that on-deck circle. Rangers play the infield around to the right, not in the overshift. Elvis Andrus playing right behind Ortega, right there at the middle of your screen, behind the bag at second. Dyson ready for the 1-0 pitch. Couldn't get him to offer at it. 2-0. Joy this year pinch hitting 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts. Dyson to the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk. A guy hitting 165.
He's probably got, I'd say in their lineup, one of the toughest guys you could have to face in this situation, and that's Simmons, because he's going to hit the ball. He's going to put it in play.
Now we're going to have a pinch runner for Joy. Nick Buss, outfielder, will come off the bench and pinch run. So he's carrying the winning run here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Well, here's Simmons, who tied the ball game with his triple back in the 7th inning. 0 for 5 in his career against Sam Dyson. He's got the tying run out at second, the winning run at first, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ball 1. Runners in scoring position. Andrelton Simmons has been very good this year, 286. Rafael Ortega carrying the tying run out there at second. One ball and 1 strike. Mike Scioscia, the Angels skipper, as always, a very pensive man on that bench. Dyson checking the runners. Tapper right back to it. Underhand to Moreland, and that is a winner. A tense 9th inning, but Sam Dyson prevails. The Rangers prevail. They snap the 2-game losing streak